Hello and welcome to the final week of term. Who knew that we'd be home again? Um, but we are, and that's what's happening. So first thing I'm going to talk about is, yes, it is the last week of term, but we're not worrying about assessments. I really just want you to concentrate on getting to know the play and working through the learning tasks. Again, if you've got any questions, please email me. Our learning intention is that good readers can make predictions about what's going to happen and will be successful when we make predictions using evidence. So we can't just say that it's going to rain strawberries and all withers will turn to chocolate. You need to actually use evidence to predict, and we'll reflect and revise these predictions as we read. So as we go along, our predictions change with more information we get or information that we don't receive. You'll do now is, if you haven't or you want to, just refresh, listen, or read the couple of pages that are Acts 11, 12, and 13, because there's not a lot to them. Next thing we're doing is building visuals just between two acts. So Act 13 and Act 14. So April Aardvark is a fake, with what Ez thought he would write, but it changes. The next morning it doesn't say it's a fake, it says April Aardvark is a babe, because as we know, April Aardvark got Mort to change the F, the F and the K. So therefore it would read babe instead of fake. Just having a look there at that. April Aardvark is a babe. And then we've got the next Act 14. School courtyard. A short time later, Ez enters with Lizzie, and that's where he wants to show her, look, this is what I've written about April Aardvark, but it doesn't quite go to how he planned. Things to notice and wonder. Lizzie appears more consumed with jealousy than why April never left the school, so that's something to remember, because she never left the school in this act. There's no evidence. George has got checked with his dad. There's no evidence that April is existing anywhere. What do we know what's going on between Olive and George? The students are becoming quite terrified. They're dodging April. They're dodging each other in some cases. Deanna is clearly not coping without her phone. In some ways it seems comical, but also sad, but also cruel, but also she clearly has a technology addiction. Deanna and Emmy's conversations have changed. So think about what they were like earlier, reflect upon that, and where they are now. April is at it again, and she's purely just cruel. I'm just moving myself out of the way. I've just got some favourite lines, and these are both said by Hilly, and you'll see that I've used them as quotes and put the person and put the page. It is better to be a good nobody than a bad somebody. And I think that's just fantastic. And as you can see, I've used ellipses here because I only part, and I apologise that for some reason my inverted commas are around the wrong way. I am only who I am. And again, that's Hilly. That's a part of his quote. And I just like Hilly because he is who he is, and he doesn't let anyone else mess with it. So these are things that you could come back and look at when I'm asking you to do the text prediction after you've listened to it or read it. So what you'll be doing is you'll be making three reasonable predictions, and you'll be using office forms for it. So this is my example here. My prediction is that Hilly may be the only character to stand up to April Aardvark. So I used the quote: "The nice things always come with bad things. Strangers will write whatever they wish. They will meet. They will never meet you. Sorry about my typo. And they will never know you." I think that's quite deep, actually, and that's something. I know I'm old. I have Facebook, but I don't have Instagram for that very point, that I'd be concerned that I'd see all these perfect images that are not a reality. I enjoy sharing things and sharing photos and stuff, but not in an Instagram way. And I think that's what they're talking about with Deanna. She loves her pictures. She wants to post more when people say things, but it feels awful when strangers that have no connection to her does say nasty things. So I've written my response and I've used some prompts, which we'll have a look at in a minute. In the next scene, I expect Hilly to be the only one to stand up to April because he doesn't seem to care what other people think. I predict this because other characters appear to use him as a sounding board to reflect and ponder their own feelings. I think this will render April powerless. Okay, so I'm going further with it, with my prediction, because if he doesn't care what she thinks and isn't intimidated when she can't bully him. Sorry, I keep moving a little picture there. I just want to make sure you can see it. So we have here the link to the learning task questions. Just go there to that. The internet's opening it up very slowly. Very, very slowly. So you'll see the first thing that you need to put in is your prediction. So write your prediction here. So if we go back to mine, you will see that my prediction is that Hilly may be the only character to stand up to Alex. What I will do is I will do this. I will go and open up my Word document and I'll show you. I'll just look up reasonable predictions. That's the one. So if I come down here, I've got my response again. So I could put in my prediction is that Hilly will be the only one to stand up to April. And then to put my evidence in, sorry, I'm just switching between different documents. I put my evidence in here, so this is where I put my quote. And then here, you'll see that this is where you put your response. So if I come back to my, it's being very silly, isn't it? So I've just fixed up my technical difficulty there. So you'll see that Hilly was the only one to stand up to April. And I'm just going to proofread my work there because we should be specific. Aardvark. And you'll see that I've popped in my evidence there, that I've used the quote, the nice things always come with the bad things. Strangers will write whatever they wish. They will never meet you. Again, proofreading's important. And they will never know you. I think that's something we all need to remember. Hilly seems very wise. And your response. And I'll put some phrases in there. You'll see in the next scene. So I expect, so I've used that one there. I predict this because I think that will happen because I've used that as well. What you need to do is you need to do 3 of these. So you'll see there's 1, 2, 3. Go back through the play, have a think about it, brainstorm, and then submit that for me. It's really good to be thinking beyond the text and what is actually coming up next. So if we go back here for a moment, what you need to do now is go to Compass and click on the book or the audio, whichever one. Remember, please email me if you have any questions at all, and take care. Oh, sorry, tomorrow we will have a WebEx.